start off telling me a little bit about the heritage of the business and how it all started?
Okay, well, Food Lovers Market started about 30 years ago, and they broke into departments, obviously bakery, fruit, and the biggest being fruit and veg. But in fruit and vegetables, and one can imagine when you damage a piece of fruit or drop it or bump it, you cut the piece off because it goes soft, and the rest you can use. So instead of wasting it, we cut the piece off. We started a department called Fresh Stuff. So we did fruit salads, and we give away free ice cream and free yogurt along with the fruit salad. And it was mainly started off as a health brand, the big butchery departments and a lot of the fresh perishables departments. So we started a store freestanding. In fact, when I joined, they had 13. We were going along nicely, and we were approached by those days Chevron. Chevron asked us, could we construct a convenience store that would fit along into their fuel sites called the Caltex. So we then developed, and we had a look at what they did. And there a lot of other big departments where carbonated soft drinks, cigarettes, chips, and I say chips, slap chips, which we didn't sell. So we said, how do we incorporate that into our group? Which we then worked on for a while, but we wanted to keep the brand fresh. We wanted to make it look like fruit and veg. So we developed the green color. We then used the word Fresh Stop, incorporated that with the Caltex. It looked a little bit different because those days they had that red, and the 4 pilot stores, then we incorporated all of their categories and all of our categories. But the main differential point was when you walked into the store, we kept it linked to Fruit and Veg City those days because we wanted to walk into fruit, and that's where we started off. So we kept that fresh look and feel. We did the interior design, a home style, fresh colors, lively, and we did our marketing around that as well. That kept us in. We also put a logo on the door saying Food Lovers Market, which linked us to Food Lovers Market. We used a lot of their support, distribution, their buying power. We did 4 pilot stores, which were based in the Western Cape. It was mainly out by Parklands. And we tested those 4 sites for, it was about a 4-month period before we started the rollout.
Right. Okay. Now you've got what, over 300?
329 at the minute.
And tell me, what's interesting to me is that you allow so much flexibility within the franchise group. I mean, you've got the kitchens, the full, the semi, the self-service. How do you manage that as a leader?
You cannot just do a copy paste. So you had to do a specific feasibility for every site. That the experienced people, the guys in retail, were the ones that they needed to use. So the more we broke it down and started understanding the markets, and obviously even with a big investment like a Food Lovers Market, you have to do a feasibility study on the area. And when you do the breakdown of your layout of what you believe the big categories will be in those areas, it varies from area to area. So you expand on one. And our smallest store is a 38 square meter store, and our largest store is a 400 square meter store. So you've now got to work on those to say, okay, how do we get it to fit? That would go link along with the size of the forecourt and the volumes that they would sell. The volumes are related to number of feet coming to the forecourt, and then we would work that into a number of feet that we could possibly get coming into the C-store. In the old days, it was an average number of about 3 to 1. So 3 cars on the forecourt, you would get 1 person in the C-store. That's reversed. So you got to make a principle of what is your royalty, what do they pay you, what do you give them for that value, and how much training you build in. So we worked along with the fuel company, we worked along with the retailers, and we built what we call, in fact, most people have them, most franchises have them, would be a franchise forum where we discuss our strategies with them. We would then bring people from different areas and different backgrounds. And I say background, different, we call it COTs, which is class of trades. So you can have a property where the retailer owns a property or the fuel company owns a property. So there's a bit of a difference there. So you got to then say, how do we make that work? What is the rental that's being paid? What's fair for the retailer? What is a fair royalty? So we built a model around that. Over the years, we looked at what could our differential be in convenience stores, and how do we continue increasing sales? If you're increasing your sales and you manage your GP, your gross profit, then you're increasing the profitability for the retailer. And that was part of our expansion, working along with retailers to say, how do we create differentials? How do we make ourselves a little bit different? And some of the big ones were where you would take a QSR, as an example, a KFC. So if I'm opening and this would be general, if I'm opening in Alexandra, I would put mainly a deep fried chicken. If I'm opening in Santon, I would put a flame grilled. Those are the elements that we went with, but it ends up today where we've got both of those inside the store, which are plus minus 6 square meters each. So the capex of that will be hugely reduced for the retailer. The staffing and your utility costs will be a lot less because now you're sharing. You don't have to buy extra refrigeration because now you can share refrigeration with both. Obviously, if you get fish or anything like that, then you need something separate. So you got to say, okay, how do we share the economies in that? And keeping in mind, we're open 24 hours. So we would have to have the staff there. So we managed how we kept those people productive in the evening, preparing for the next day. An example would be, you've got to keep that franchisee relevant to your business, which means he's got to need you as much as you need him. So the support structures that you give him, the planning that you give him, and making sure that you're whatever he's paying you on a monthly basis for the royalty, that he's getting value back for that. And as a group, we've got to continue with that. And it's going to be adding innovation all the time and making sure we come up with different ideas. And sometimes rejuvenating ideas, because I mean, we're in fast-moving consumer goods, 180, 200 square meter stores where we can sell barista coffee, we can sell deep fried chicken, we can sell flame grilled chicken, but you can also pick up your vices like your cigarettes or your carbonated soft drinks, and you link that in with a little bit of healthy food along the way as well for the bottom ends, where you can say, how do we sell fruit and veg in there? With having a big brother in Food Lovers Market, we use their research and development, we use their buying power, so we use their structures and bring that into ours, because it's for any retail company, it's not easy to supply 330 stores who's buying small amounts and long distances and trying to keep some form of consistency. And your question earlier on was very relevant. How do we keep a form of consistency? Those are the type of things that we see that can work, we bring it back and we'll Africanize it. I mean, I'll give you a simple example, a temptation alley. If you look at the temptation alleys in convenience stores, it sometimes takes up 25 to 30% of the floor space. But in the old days, your chocolate slabs and your count lines would have been in the aisles. Unfortunately, in the environment we're living in, a lot of those products would get stole very easy. And someone would lift a box of slabs at a time and walk out the door. So we forced them to walk through a temptation alley. If I told you that our shrinkage dropped by almost 60% and our sales were increased by 10, 12%, purely by forcing people past the till point. So you have to go past the cashier. You have to face them. You have to see their eyes. So those are some of the small things that we did.
Right. And I mean, I walk into one of your stores and it's so well designed to fit in everything that you do in such a small space, and to make it look so attractive and inviting is really remarkable. I think you guys are doing a superb job.
Well, we're on a next drive now, so we're busy redesigning all the stores. The 330 jumping quite a bit, but also with new designs coming out, because the stores are pretty tired at the moment. A lot of our stores are 10, 12 years old. And if you look at what Astron's done to their forecourt, they brought in this beautiful orange and purple, very bright colors, and making a different to the normal fuel industry. So we're saying we've got to do something similar. We're busy with that at the moment. So.
Very impressive. You really keep on top of things, which is most admirable.
My experience has always been, you have to live your business, and starting out as a franchisor, firstly, make sure you've got a model that works, that's profitable, and make sure that that model can afford the royalties. You link your royalty to what you can support, and obviously it becomes in on numbers. If you've got 10 stores, what will the royalty be? If you've got 50 stores, what will the royalty income be? If you've got 100, and work those out. But then remember, your costs go up as well, because you could probably call it the detail and the support structure that your model needs, you've got to make sure that you have that to be able to support the retailers. And as thing goes, and here's a great example. We had retailers that we said that thought they were retailers, but if you relate it to soccer and fourth division and fifth division soccer teams, that's where they were. After 3-4 years, they're now in the first division, the Premiership, and they can actually tell us what to do. So the more you support them at the beginning, the stronger they get, the less support you need to give them, and the more they work with you. So
100%.
So that's related to their on sale, but also most importantly is in their administration part of it. When you can have a red flag to say your stock holding has gone too high on a category, could be energy drinks, and break it down to the actual SKU, which could be Monster or Red Bull, and that's going missing.
Right.
So you can say, you've got a problem here, there's a red flag, and you start having those reports dashboarded and coming out every week. So that your business consultant going to the store, and if it's once a week or once every 2 weeks, can raise that with the guys. Because things start off small, and if something's going missing small and they continue to get away with it, whether it's the driver dropping off less stock, they'll get away and it becomes bigger and bigger. The minute you can pick it up and stop it quickly is the best way, but it's then balancing off, and that's what I say, it's balancing off that CapEx. Make sure you have as low as CapEx as possible for your retailer coming in. So I would always say, just assess what you do as a joining fee, assess what you charge as a legal fee, assess what you charge as a training fee, assess what you charge as a project management fee, because all those build up. Rather get your retailer lower CapEx, running stronger, and over the longer period of time, you will pay for all those elements that I just mentioned. So that would be probably my advice to start with.